So let's take a moment and settle into a comfortable position. Let's bring palms together at heart center and let's begin to rub the palms together briskly and create some heat in the centers of the palms. And as you do this, press your palms firmly together. Let the thumbs rest on the sternum, that flat bone down the center of the chest, and begin to locate with your thumb knuckles the center point in the chest where there's a slight indentation or a slight tenderness, which is an acupressure point for anxiety, also wonderful for boosting your immune system. So Anjali Mudra is a mudra of gratitude. So take a moment as we settle in for this practice right before Thanksgiving, using the mudra for gratitude. Allow yourself to turn the attention inward by closing the eyes or lowering your gaze down. And as you feel that tingling sensation between the palms, feeling the aliveness of the body, allow yourself to experience this. Note the sensation, the aliveness, the feeling in the hands. As the thumbs rest on the sternum, feeling that connection with the heart center. Notice your breath. As you notice the breath and the aliveness and tingling in the hands, the connection with the heart center. Take a moment and set an intention for tonight's practice. Maybe the intention might be to experience gratitude for what your body can do, to experience gratitude for what feels good as we practice, but also what might not feel completely perfect to us. Maybe we notice some tightness or tension. Maybe we notice aches or pains, limited mobility in a different area of the body. Allow yourself to just notice. And with gratitude, remember that everything that we experience in the body is a messenger. So maybe gratitude for the messages that our body's trying to send us. Not pushing anything away. Not trying to pull something different toward us. Just being with what is. Begin to slow your exhale and possibly deepen your inhale, letting the belly soften and expand. As you let that belly soften and expand, feel the sensation in the abdomen. Inhale, letting the belly expand. And on the exhale, as the abdomen draws backward toward the spine, notice that as well. Now on your next inhale, we're going to lift those arms up overhead. And on the exhale, turn the palms out. And as you do, lower your chin toward your chest. Flex the hands as they come down to rest beside your hips. Turn your palms up. Inhale, lift your arms. Let those palms come together and exhale, hands down through the center of the chest. Inhale, lift the arms. Lift your gaze. And once more on the exhale, let's sweep those arms out and begin to bring them down beside the hips. And let that right hand stay beside your hip. Lift your left arm up and begin to drape that arm over the head and just leaning into a very gentle lateral flexion. Open the side body. Not a big stretch right away, but just notice how that feels through the tricep area, down through the armpit and into the rib cage, the waist, and the hip. And then inhale, bring your left arm up, release that left hand down, and lift the right arm up this time. Exhale, drape that arm over the head, and allow yourself to come into a gentle lateral flexion of the spine, opening up through the right side of the body. And then inhale, lift your arm, and on the exhale, release that right hand down a bit further from your body. Lift your left arm up, and let's begin to hinge over to the left. Maybe bending the elbow, reaching through those fingertips. And inhale, bringing that arm back up. And on the exhale, Allow that left hand to come down. Lift your right arm up, and on the exhale, coming over to a slightly deeper lateral flexion. And once again, inhale, lifting up, and on the exhale, this time take that right arm out as far as feels comfortable. Lift your left arm up, and on the exhale, find your deepest lateral flexion. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, releasing that left hand down, out away from you. Lift the right arm, and on the exhale, hinging over, coming into a deeper lateral flexion. And once more, we're going to inhale and come back up to center. And on the exhale, let's lift our left shoulder up. And on the exhale, draw the left shoulder back, release it down. Inhale, bring the shoulder forward, lift it up. And on the exhale, draw it back, release it down. And once more, inhale, bring the shoulder forward, lift it up. And on the exhale, draw it back and release it down. And let that left hand stay behind your hip. And just bring your right hand over to the left leg. Gently turning into this twist. And breathe. And then inhale, we're going to come back to center. And on the exhale, bring both hands beside the hip. This time, lift your right shoulder up. And on the exhale, draw it back. Release it down. Inhale, bring the shoulder forward. Lift it up. And on the exhale, drawing it back and releasing it down. And once again, inhale, bring it forward. Lift it up. And exhale, draw it back and release it down. Let's let that right hand rest behind our hip. Bring your left hand over. And let's come into a gentle seated twist in the opposite direction. And breathe. And inhale, coming back to center. Keep your right hand where it's at. Let's place the left hand down as well. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, opening through the heart center, letting the muscles along the spine shorten and soften. You might lift your head up. And on the exhale, lower the chin down. Inhale, lift your head up. And on the exhale, lowering the chin down. And once more, inhale, lift your chin up. And exhale, lower the chin down. Now let's bring our hands forward to our knees, maybe down in front. And let's walk our hands out in front of us. As we do this, let's bring our attention into our low back. We want to keep that low back long and straight. We want to notice whether or not we're experiencing discomfort or tightness or tension building. We want to open up that space in the spine. Maybe we relax our shoulders a little bit more. Maybe we bend the elbows and release to the forearms. And breathe. Now from here, we might begin to walk those hands back in. And as we come back into our seated position, let's bring our attention to our hips, sitting up tall. We're going to lean to the right here. And as we do, we're going to stop before we push into any areas of pain, leaning forward, coming to the center, take it over to the left, and then back to center. So we're going to take these circles in the same direction for 2 more full circles. Inhale and exhale. And let's come back to center. And on the exhale, let's lean to the left, hinge forward, come to the center, take it over to the right, and back up to center. 2 more circles. Just let this be a relaxing, meditative practice rather than really forcing or pushing anything. And once again, we're going to come back to center. And on the exhale, let's go ahead and come over onto our hands and knees. So as we come to our hands and knees, position the wrists under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Let's begin to align the spine, looking at the mat, engaging muscles through the upper back, along the spine and all the way down across your sacrum. And breathe. Now we're going to extend our right leg back. Extend the left arm out in front of us and begin to notice how this feels. Reach through those fingertips and decide if you want to lift that right leg up. And explore a spinal balance. Breathe. Now inhale, and on the exhale, bring your left elbow towards your right knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, elbow toward the knee. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, elbow toward the knee. Now inhale and straighten. And on the exhale, let's set that left hand down. Take that right leg, cross over the left, tuck your toe. Let's look over that left shoulder at our right foot. Now inhale, bring your right leg back to center, and on the exhale, we're going to bring our right leg forward and through. Let our left hand rest on the mat, right hand on our knee. As we turn to the right, begin to notice how that feels. Make sure we're not putting all of our pressure into our left hand. We just want to help it to stabilize us. Lift your right arm up and breathe. And go ahead and bring your right hand down on the inside of that right foot, and then we're going to shift our hips back and forward. So just exploring, stretching our hamstring, our quadricep, ankles, knees, and hips. Let's keep this as gentle as we need it to be, or we can take this much deeper. We can lean into that full release of that left hip flexor. And then as we exhale backwards, we can release actually all the way down to that heel if we like, and maybe lift that right foot up. So let's explore this stretch in a way that feels right for us. Maybe deeper, maybe more gentle. Once more inhale. And once more exhale. And then we're going to come back to neutral. We're going to step that right foot back. And then we're going to go ahead and extend the left leg back, tucking the toes, leveling the hips out. Take a moment, keep your gaze on the mat. Extend your right arm this time. Maybe lifting that left leg up. And breathe. Reach through the fingertips, press through the heel. Now inhale, and on the exhale, bring that right elbow to the left knee. Inhale and straighten. Exhale, elbow to the knee. Inhale and straighten. And exhale, elbow to the knee. Now inhale and straighten, pressing through that heel. Let your right hand come down, left foot cross over the right. Look over your right shoulder at your left foot. Breathe. Now inhale, bring that left leg back to center. And on the exhale, let's step it forward and through. Placing our right hand on the mat, left hand toward that left knee, turning the torso. So begin to notice how this feels. Again, we're only using that right hand to stabilize us. Bring that left arm up. And breathe. Now inhale. And on the exhale, bringing both hands on the inside of that left foot. Let's shift our hips back and forward here. So let's move through this in a way that feels right for us. Inhaling and exhaling. Again, deciding whether or not we want to take this deeper and really releasing that right hip flexor down when we come forward. And as we shift back, once again, we can begin to straighten that leg. Maybe we're folding over that leg more deeply. Maybe we release our hips all the way to that heel and stretch that front leg. So let's explore this in a way that feels right for us. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. Now inhale, come back to neutral. And on the exhale, we're going to bring that left knee back. We're going to ease our hips back toward our heels. Let the chest come to rest on the thighs. Let's bring our hands back by our ankles, palms up, forehead on the mat, and breathe.
allowing the shoulders to relax. You might even wiggle your fingers if that feels good, or rotate the wrists. Now begin to interlace your fingers behind your back. Now inhale, lift your head up. So we're going to come into what's called Maha Mudra. And on the exhale, we're hinging forward, releasing our forehead down onto the mat. And you might begin to lift those arms up overhead to stretch your shoulders. Inhale, lift the head up, release those hands down behind the feet. And on the exhale, we're leaning forward, releasing the forehead, lifting those arms up overhead. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, folding forward. Inhale. And exhale. Once more, inhale. And once more, exhale. Now release those hands down, slide them out in front. Allow yourself to take a moment and really stretch your shoulders. Now with both palms on the mat, let's shift forward. Bring our shoulders over our wrists. And as you come into this position, you might release your hips down. Let's only bring those hips down to where it feels right for us right now. And then inhale, lift your hips. And exhale, ease your hips back towards your heels. So we're going to flow through this a few times, further stretching our hip flexors, releasing across our low back, and releasing our hips back toward the heels. Once more, we're going to inhale forward, and on the exhale, release the hips down. This time we might press into the tops of the toes so that the knees come up off the mat. And on the exhale, release your knees. Inhale, move your hips back, and on the exhale, release them toward the heels. So let's flow through this a few times. Inhale forward, exhale, release your hips. Inhale, press into the toes, lift the knees, and on the exhale, set those knees down. Inhale, shift the hips back, and on the exhale, release all the way to the thighs. Now inhale, shifting forward, exhale, release your hips. Inhale, press into the tops of the toes, lifting the knees. Exhale, release the knees. Inhale, lift the hips. And exhale, ease your hips back toward your heels. And let's bring those hands behind, palms up. Now from here, inhale, lift your head up. And on the exhale, we're going to extend our arms out in front. Now, if it doesn't feel comfortable for you to sit on your knees and heels, then you can always come into a comfortable seated position. So inhale with arms up, and on the exhale, slowly bring those fingertips to the shoulders. Inhale and extend. And exhale, fingertips to the shoulders. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, fingertips to the shoulders. Once more, inhale. And once more, exhale. Now, when the fingertips come to the shoulders here, let's keep the fingertips on the shoulders. And inhale, open your elbows wide. Exhale, draw the elbows together. Inhale, open your elbows. And exhale, drawing the elbows toward each other. Once more, inhale. And once more, exhale. Now let's interlace our fingers again. Inhale, open the elbows out so that the palms are facing down. And exhale, draw the elbows together. Inhale, open the elbows out, palms down, shoulder height. And exhale, elbows together. And again, inhale, open the elbows out. And exhale, draw the elbows together. Now from here, we're going to place our hands down in front. We're gonna tuck our toes and we're gonna lift our knees up off the mat and let's alternate our heels a few times. So we're stretching our feet, our ankles, the calves, behind the knees, hamstrings. Let's just check and see how the legs are feeling at this point. Now inhale, rise up onto the balls of both feet, and on the exhale, let's release those knees down, shift our hips back, and take a pause here in a child's pose. Knees wider, arms extended maybe. Now inhale, lift your head, and on the exhale, lift your hips, tuck your toes, inhale, lift your knees, and on the exhale, let's explore releasing the heels down toward the floor. And so we're gonna press our chest toward our thighs, and you can continue to alternate if you like. And breathe. Now inhale, lift your head. We're gonna shift forward, step the right foot forward and keep that back heel lifted. Begin to inhale, lift your torso up. And on the exhale, let your hands come to heart center. So we're here in a lunge. Allow yourself to inhale, straighten your right leg. And on the exhale, bend your right knee. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend your right knee. Again, inhale, straighten your right leg. And exhale, bending the knee. Now we're going to go ahead and place our hands down. We're going to step the right foot back to meet the left. Back into a downward facing dog. Now inhale, lift your gaze. And on the exhale, lean forward into the hands, stepping the left foot forward. Keep your right heel lifted. And then we're going to inhale, lift our torso up. And again, bringing torso over the hips, bring hands to heart center. Now inhale, begin to straighten that left leg. And on the exhale, bend the knee. Inhale and straighten. Exhale, bending the knee. Again, inhale. And exhale. Now let's place both hands down. We're going to step that right foot forward to meet the left. We're going to release our chest toward our thighs. Bring your hands to your elbows for a moment. Now you might shift side to side as long as it feels comfortable. It doesn't make you too lightheaded or dizzy. We just want to release the low back and hamstrings. And then release your hands down, bend your knees, and sweep the floor with the hands. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead, and exhale, hands to the heart. So let's take a moment, again, bringing those hands to heart center in our standing mountain pose. Feet directly underneath the hip points on the front of our body so that everything feels aligned. Soft bend in your knees. And as your thumbs rest on the sternum, again, activating that acupressure point, just notice. Draw your shoulders back, lift from the pelvic floor, the base of the body, engaging your core. Lift up through the crown of the head and breathe. Now inhale, lift your arms up overhead, maybe draw those arms back. And on the exhale, sweep the arms out. We can pause at a flat back. We can begin to release our chest toward our thighs. Maybe hands come to shins, fingertips to the floor, or maybe those palms release all the way down. And breathe, bend your knees. Inhale, let's lift those arms up overhead. And exhale, hands to the heart. Once again, inhale, lift your arms, draw the arms back, bit of a back bend. Exhale, sweeping the arms out. Begin to lower those hands down. Let's keep that right hand in front of the right foot. Bend your right knee. Left hand comes to your left hip as you turn to the left and possibly lift the left arm up. So twisted forward fold. Breathe. Inhale. And on the exhale, let that left hand come down in front of the left foot. Bend the left knee. Right hand comes to your right hip and then possibly lifting up toward the ceiling. and breathe. Inhale, and on the exhale, bring that left hand down, fold forward a bit more. You might bring your hands to the backs of the calves. Maybe you reach for your elbows behind your knees as you fold forward. And breathe. And once again, we're going to release our hands down in front.
Sweep the floor with the hands. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead, and exhale, hands to the heart. And once more, we're going to inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, sweeping the arms out as we come forward. Inhale, lift to a flat back. And on the exhale, let's step that right foot back, angling the toes out. And we're going to go ahead and straighten that left leg and fold over that left leg in a pyramid pose. So noticing as you do this, the stretch in the back of the left leg, and breathe. Maybe you keep this right hand on the inside of that left foot. Bring your left hand to your left hip and lift that left arm up in a revolved triangle. And breathe. Now inhale, and on the exhale, let's bring both hands down in front. Lift your right heel, bend your right knee, and step that right foot forward and through as you pull forward. Inhale, lifting to a flat back, and on the exhale, step that left foot back, angling the toes out, bending your right knee, and then begin to straighten that right leg, folding over that right leg. So pyramid pose, and then begin to place the left hand on the inside of that right foot. Right hand can come to your right hip, or lift that arm up, revolve triangle. And breathe. Inhale, and on the exhale, let's set both hands down, pivot that back foot, lift the heel, and step forward, folding forward once more. Inhale to a flat back, and on the exhale, step back right, step back left, downward facing dog. And breathe. Inhale, lift that right leg up. Press the heel toward the ceiling and possibly bend that right knee. Stack the hips over one another. Look under your left arm at your right foot. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, release that right leg. Inhale, lift the left leg, and on the exhale, bend your knee. Look under your right arm at your left foot. Inhale, straighten, exhale, release. Let your knees come down, and let's come into a child's pose with arms extended out in front. Slide the hands in front of the knees, lift the forehead up, and let's go ahead and come into an easy seated pose. Let's extend our arms out to shoulder height. Bringing our left arm over our right, giving ourselves a big hug, getting a good stretch across the upper back and through the chest. We're shortening the muscles. Notice how this feels. Then breathe. We can stay here. We can intertwine those arms. Lift our elbows up if you like. Stay upright or fold forward. Coming into a full forward fold. Inhale, coming back up to center. And on the exhale, unwind your arms. Release your hands down beside your hips. Lift up through the crown of the head. And on the exhale, lower your chin to your chest. Begin to turn your head to the right. Inhale, lift your gaze up. Bring your head to center. Turn your head to the left. lower your chin down, and bring the head back. So we're going to take this through 2 more full circles, taking your time, looking to the right, lift your gaze up, bring the head to center, turning the head to the left, and lower that chin down. One more full circle, letting that head come back up, and on the exhale, lowering it down, and back to the center. Now from here, we're going to turn and look toward that left shoulder. Inhale, lift your head up, bring it to center, look to the right, lower your chin down. 2 more full circles in this direction. Inhale and exhale. One more circle. Inhale and exhale. Now as that chin comes back toward the center of your chest, lift the chin up, and then we're going to switch the cross of the legs, bringing the opposite leg in front. Let's take both arms out to shoulder height. Bring your right arm over your left and give yourself a big hug. And breathe. Decide if you want to stay here, or if you prefer to intertwine the arms, you might do that. Stay upright if you like, or fold forward if you prefer. And breathe. Now inhale, coming back up to center, and on the exhale, unwind your arms, press your palms out, release your hands down beside the hips, and then we're going to come onto our backs. So bend the knees, ease on down toward the mat. Let's take a moment and just keep our feet hip distance apart at this point. Let your hands rest on your abdomen or on your solar plexus region. And we're just going to inhale and exhale. Let your inhale come in naturally. And let your exhale be long and slow. Inhale, breathing in naturally. And exhale, slowly releasing the breath. Now inhale, lift this left foot up off the mat. Draw your knee in towards your chest, adding some compression in the left side of the abdomen. And then place your hand on that left knee as you slide the knee to the outside of the torso. And then we're going to allow that left hand on the left knee to move that knee as far away from the body as we can. And then bring it across center point. And then let it come back up toward the shoulder. And then we're going to complete 2 more circles like this. Slow, somatic movement through the hip. Inhale. And exhale. And once more, inhale. And once more, exhale. Now when this left knee comes back in, let's bring it real close to the shoulder, and you might consider lifting that left foot up toward the ceiling, possibly reaching for the edge of that left foot as you draw the knee down toward the floor. Coming into a half happy baby, you could flex that foot more firmly if you like. Now from here, we might explore opening this left leg out to the left side of the body. You might loop the fingers around the big toe, keep your hand on the outside of the leg as we explore straightening that leg, stretching the inner thigh,
the back of the leg, working on that hip mobility, and just breathe. Now inhale, bringing that left leg up overhead. You can use your hand on the toe, or you can have your hand on the outside of the leg. Maybe you bend the knee and bring it to the center. So we just want to explore what feels right for us as we bring that left leg up overhead. You can let go of that toe, possibly pointing the toes and flexing the foot. We're going to explore a stretch in the back of the leg. So as we point and flex the foot, notice the hamstring behind the knee, the calf, your shin, and even the top of your foot. Notice your quadricep become softer, and you might feel into that hip flexor. There's a lot of work going on there, strengthening that hip flexor, pointing and flexing. Now point your toes, engage the muscles of the leg, and we might go ahead and lower this leg down toward the floor. We're going to take it slow. What we're looking for is how that low back feels and how the psoas and the hip flexor feel, as well as the abdominal muscles. And what we don't want to do is strain anything. So we're using the engagement of the leg. We're using our strength to the point that we are able. And if at any point you don't feel like this is helpful or it's becoming painful, we want to stop. We want to bend the knee. We want to pause. We want to bring that knee back into the chest. But you can take that leg down all the way toward the floor if you like. Not required, just explore. And when that leg is about an inch off the floor, we're going to pause here. We'll flex the foot. We'll press through the sole of the foot, and we can stay here or begin to draw it back up overhead. Now the knee can be bent and brought in and then lifted back up overhead if you like. So we're only exploring what it feels like to move with engagement of the muscles. And then once you come up overhead, we're going to flex that foot, bring that leg past center point, and we're going to explore the stretch in the outer left thigh. Your right hand can be on the inside for support. And then inhale, bring that left leg back up to center. On the exhale, rebend the knee. From here, let's draw our right knee in toward our chest, wrap your hand around the shin, compress the abdomen. Possibly move that right knee out to the outside of the body. Let your hand rest on that knee as you begin to explore opening the right knee out further. And again, you can straighten that right arm so that that knee moves as far away from you as it can, and then draw it across the body, and then back up towards your shoulder. And inhale, opening your knee out. And exhale as we draw it across the body and back up to the shoulder. One final circle. Inhale. And exhale. Now, as you bring that knee in, once again, we're going to draw it in toward the shoulder on the outside of the torso and explore lifting the sole of the foot up, possibly reaching for the edge of that foot as you draw the knee down. So just notice how that feels. Breathe. Let's go ahead and maybe explore looping the fingers around the big toe, or get our strap, or use your hand on the outside of the leg as you explore straightening the right leg out away from your body. The stretch in the inner thigh, the back of that leg, your hip flexor, and breathe. Now beginning to consider bringing that leg up overhead. Now hand can stay on the big toe. You can use your strap. You can bring that leg up on its own power if you like. Once that leg is up overhead, we're going to point the toes and flex the foot. So take your time and notice how this feels. This is a great overall stretch. Plus you get the benefit of the circulation being improved by letting the blood flow reverse. And point and flex. And once more, point and once more flex. Now this time we're going to point the toes and begin to lower the leg toward the floor. Again, we want to make sure that we're using muscle engagement and we're not straining some area of our body. So as we take that leg out, pay close attention, and when you feel like you're straining, bend the knee, stop. Don't need to take it into a place of pain. Now, as that leg comes down, you can stop at any point and flex that foot when you're ready. Engage the muscles in the leg, and from here, let's explore bringing that leg back up overhead. And you can stop and bend the knee at any point if you like here. Once that leg is up overhead, the foot is flexed, we're going to explore bringing it past the center point, noticing the outside of that right thigh. And breathe. Now inhale, bringing it back to center. And on the exhale, bend your right knee, bend your left knee. Let's bring both knees in toward the body. Hug the hands around the shins if that feels good, and gently rock side to side. And breathe. Now let's let both knees release to the left side of the body. Extend your right arm out. Turn and look at that right hand. See if you can relax a bit more through your toes, the feet, ankles, knees. Relax your hips, arms, the torso, shoulders, neck, and head. Now inhale, we're bringing our knees back to center, and on the exhale, allowing the knees to release to the right side of the body. Extend your left arm out and turn and look at your left outstretched hand. And breathe. Now inhale, bringing the knees back to center, and on the exhale, we're going to extend our legs all the way down to the end of the mat, reaching our arms overhead. Let's begin to explore a big stretch through the entire body, from tips of toes to tips of fingers. Allow yourself to maybe wiggle your toes and fingers. Maybe you point and flex the feet a few times here to further stretch the legs. You might spread those fingers wide and then make this if you have some tightness in the hands. Let's get all the last stretch out that we can. Maybe we reach through the right fingers and left toes, and then reach through the left fingers and right toes, and then let your feet relax outward. Ease your hands down, palms up, away from your hips, and breathe. So coming into Shavasana, let's evaluate whether or not this pose is going to be comfortable for us to rest in stillness. If we determine that we could be 5 or 10% more comfortable, let's make some adjustments to do that. Again, pillow or bolster under your knees, a nice pillow under your head, blanket, eye pillow. What would allow you to be 5 or 10% more comfortable than you are right now? So as we settle into making ourselves more comfortable, let's bring our attention and our awareness to what it is that matters most in our life. So as we practice eye rest, we use a sankalpa in the practice, which consists of focus on that which is most important to us, and intention, which supports that, and also connecting with our inner resource of being and well-being, which is feeling and sensing a bit of safety within the body, allowing yourself to begin to notice what it feels like to feel safe in the body.
And so as you settle in and you start to begin to think about what's most important in this life, allow yourself to just take it a little deeper. And what is it you're grateful for in this life? Allow yourself to notice that. Taking time to consider that. What's most important and what are you most grateful for? And then take a moment and think about what your intention for tonight's meditation would be that would help support that sense of gratitude. And then begin to feel and sense in your body where you feel that sense of gratitude. Where can you feel that sense of gratitude embodied in your body? Now, taking time as you feel that sense of gratitude in the body and you consider your intention and what's most important and what you feel most grateful for in your life at this time, begin to open your awareness to what's most calling your attention. Allow yourself to begin to notice sounds. Notice the sounds around you, including my voice, but also sounds inside the room where you're at, maybe sounds of your own body breathing. Maybe there are sounds outside the room in the home, maybe outside. Allow your awareness to open to all sounds, noticing sounds close and far away, internal and external. Noticing those sounds that are calling your attention. Allow yourself to begin to notice smells that you become aware of. What smells are calling your attention? As you notice whatever smells are in your awareness, it could be your favorite fragrance, it could be food, it could be just the familiar smell of home. Allow yourself to notice whatever smells are calling your attention and maybe pause for a moment with gratitude for that sense of smell. Along with a sense of hearing that allows us to hear all the various sounds near and far away, at whatever level our hearing's at, being grateful for what hearing we do have available to us. Now begin to notice any sense of taste. Allow yourself to begin to notice the tip of the tongue and then the surface of the tongue. Maybe we swallow and begin to notice a sense of a lingering taste in the mouth, or just the normal taste of our mouth, the sensory points in our mouth, the inner cheeks and the roof of the mouth. Just feel and sense the taste buds, the sense of taste, and any lingering taste that's there. As we notice that sense of taste, bring our awareness to that sense of gratitude for being able to taste things, having that strong sense of taste. Begin to notice sensations in the body. Maybe it's external sensations that we're experiencing on the outer edges of our skin as maybe we're resting on a surface. Allow yourself to begin to notice the sensation of whatever surface is supporting you. If you have a blanket or even your clothing, the way that the clothing feels on your skin, begin to notice that. Maybe it's a sensation of warmth or coolness on our skin that we notice. Allow yourself to notice those. Maybe even that sensation of achiness, tightness, or discomfort that might be lingering, as well as some sense of relaxation, calm in the body, comfort. Allow yourself to begin to open and notice all the sensations in the body. Take a little longer and really notice the sensations and see if you can identify where those sensations are. And as you're scanning for sensations, as you're noticing sensations, connect with that sense of gratitude that's felt in the body for being able to feel the sensations. Not only the pleasant sensations, but also the challenging sensations. Can we take some time and just notice that even the challenging sensations have a message for us, maybe even a stronger message than the pleasant sensations. So feel and sense the sensations in the body. You might notice that sensations ebb and flow. Maybe they're more pronounced at one moment and less so at another. And maybe there's so many different sensations that our attention is moved from one thing to another. Just begin to open and notice what's the most prominent physical sensation in the body. See if you can identify where that sensation is in the body. Where is that felt in the body? As you begin to notice the sensation and where it's located in the body, see if you can become aware of maybe how much space that sensation takes up. Is there a color associated with that sensation? A symbol? Maybe you're even aware of that message that that sensation is sending us. If that sensation were to walk into a room, what would it look like? What would it want to say to you? What action would it want to take you to take? Allow yourself to connect with that. Bring your awareness into that sensation and noticing it as an embodied presence, as that sensation, as the messenger that it is. Breathe. And as you begin to connect with all the things that your sensory awareness is calling your attention to, notice how your mind might move from one thing to another. First a sensation and then a sound, possibly smell and taste. Just noticing how our attention moves through all the different sensations. Can we allow ourselves a moment of gratitude for all of the sensory awareness that our body contains? For the felt sense in our body of all of these sensations, as well as gratitude for that inner resource of being and well-being, that felt sense in the body of being safe, secure, okay, maybe even grateful. Allow yourself to notice everything. And as you begin to notice, come back to your intention for tonight's practice. Come back and notice if that's what you experienced. Come back and notice how it's related to that which is most important to you. Come back and notice what is most important to you and what are you most grateful for. So as we come into that awareness, begin to allow the body to move, fingers wiggling, toes moving, head may move from side to side. You might stretch and roll your shoulders. You might even roll over onto your side. Allow yourself to blink your eyes open and closed. Find your way back to a seated posture. As you're ready, not forcing or pushing, but just coming up when it feels right for you. As you come into a comfortable position, once again, let's bring those hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra, letting that thumb rest against the sternum. Take a moment and just feel into that sense of gratitude in the body. Allow yourself to turn your attention, the sense of gratitude toward yourself for your practice tonight. Turn that sense of gratitude to you taking the time for yourself tonight. I want to thank you all for sharing your practice with me. I honor the place in you which is of love, of truth, of light, and of peace. From my heart to yours, namaste.